They have doing all kind of thing today, drumming, they have a piano, multitasking. I always tell mommy, I need two of me, I need 2 or 3 of me there.
Oh, Jesus.
Just get a little bit of water, So, brothers and sisters, thank God this carnival season is over.
Jesus. Hallelujah.
Many of you may have missed last week, in which I was explaining why I didn't particularly like carnival. Or they still for spite. Or they still because they didn't want to hear what I have to say about carnival. Alright. Well, don't worry, you're here today, so I can talk about carnival. I will continue where I left off. So most importantly, I explained last week why good is not weighed equally as bad. Is good equal to bad? No. In fact, good damages the bad. Sorry, the bad damages the good. The good tries to redeem the bad, but if the bad is there, if the bad continues to be there, it overpowers sometimes the good that we do. It's not one in, one out. Some people like to say, well, okay, I will commit a sin now, and then I'm going to give charity to make up for that sin. You might think that is logical because that is how it works with the bank. You put money in, you take money out. And at the end of the day, if you put money in and you take the same money out, what you have? 0. It is equal. But it is not so. So when we talk about sin. When we talk about sin, it's a whole different logic altogether. It is God's logic versus man's logic. Nowadays we are so accustomed with man's logic, and I am not here to disrespect man's logic. I am here to say God's logic is greater than man's logic. And God will be God, and man will always be lower than God this morning. It is not to say that you are nothing this morning. I'm not saying it because you are nothing. I'm saying it because we have to know our place when it comes to Almighty God. And I think we know that. But I said that the bad things tend to spoil the good things. And this is why, in retrospect, this is where the flesh battles with the spirit man. Anybody ever had a challenge where they wasn't sure if they could do the right thing?
Yes.
Oh, well, I can say that. I can say as pastor, I felt so. And my wife Charlene, she got a message on her WhatsApp from one of her friends this week. Being that it was Carnival week, of course. And this week, that video message was a woman who was half naked on the street playing Carnival. And I want to know, how far do we go to hide ourselves from the idea that we could be walking on the streets naked? I want to know how far. I want to know, I am so curious. I'm not here to criticize one woman. I am here to say, don't we know when we are naked, people? People, anybody here don't know when they are naked? Isn't nakedness against the law in this country? Well, isn't it?
Yes.
Somebody. How come that woman wasn't charged?
She was naked and then I didn't see her.
How come that woman wasn't? I'm asking the question, ladies and gentlemen. This morning. If we decide to go running outside naked this morning, how many bet the policeman will hold you up? As my grandma said there. They will hold you up. But for some reason, it's not naked on Carnival those 2 days to go naked. Do we have double standards this morning? It only dawned on me because I'm a person, I wouldn't say I speak good about Trinidad all the time. But I try to talk some good things about Trinidad. But it dawned on me on how unfair it is sometimes outside there in the world. Not that I want to go out naked, ladies and gentlemen. Not that I want to do that. But the idea is that some people could break the law and some people can't. Now you might say, well, Pastor, well, they have their time, but they are publicly doing it. What if they are children? What if they are young people, impressionable people around the ages of, let's say, teenagers that are around? They might not be jumping up in carnival, but they might be up in their houses on High Street, out in the porch looking out, and what do they see? They see that impression of what life is. Life is a jump up and feel naked. But I want to tell you that that is not always the case. So, permit me to speak about carnival. I need to. If I don't know who will. Amen this morning? Amen. All right, so I have to say it. And so I thought to myself, there confirms my exact point about this season of carnival. While there might be good things, while, as I said last week, Trinidadians get to show their creativity, their ability to, perhaps make good, a song or a calypso or whatever it is. Maybe they might make a beautiful costume, a fully clothed costume. That might be good. There is some things about carnival that destroys the name of what carnival really is. It is like a pastor. Let me give you a down-to-earth example. It is like the pastor who, I gave the example last week, preaches here but goes outside with another woman during the week. What does it count for in terms of your judgment on him? Would you say that he is fit to be up here? No, because that one bad spoiled that good, One bad spoils the good. I'm not trying to be extremist this morning, but I'll give you the example. None of you all will tolerate me. None. If I go outside there and I blatantly show you all I have an outside woman, would any of you all tolerate me? If you all tolerate me, something wrong with all of you. Something is wrong. Sorry to say it so. I am often all up there just giving an example. I hope nothing wrong with me this morning. I hope so. I don't think so, because we here in church, right? Amen. So it confirms, as I said, my exact point of carnival. But this week, I was working on a sideline electronic project. Now, I'm not good like Brother Darren. Check Brother Darren if you need electronics fix. That is my business. You can check him out. He's really, really good. But I was working on this little electronic project, but I can relate to Brother Darren this morning. I needed to get a resistor, Brother Darren. If you know about resistors, you must know about it. And I needed a transistor as well. Some little thing I was working on, a little project. So on Monday morning, which was Carnival morning, Monday morning, I headed over to the electronics store in Koki. I said, you know what? I have some free time. Me really in the carnival thing. But I have my things to do, right? So I said I would go and get something. So I went on my Koki and it was closed, obviously. Now, not obvious to me, because to me, I don't celebrate carnival to say I celebrate. So I went out and thinking, well, maybe Koki might be open, but Koki was closed. So I decided to take a pass to the electronics store in San Fernando. Anybody who's going to the electronics store? Any musicians? RNS and that street. I can't remember that is Carlton Center Street. St. James Street, right. I always forget it. Mommy just always have to remind me. St. James Street. And I went down there and passing through San Fernando. Of course it was closed again. Duh, right? Duh for me, right? Passing through San Fernando, two things came to my mind. Well, actually what I saw. Firstly, it dawned on me the absolute preposterousness, I don't realize a word, but that's what I'm saying, of this season of carnival in other ways. I gave some examples before, giving another example. For example, the closing of the roads. So in this nation, think about this, in this nation, we close the most popular roads to the public so that some people can walk the streets half naked and drunk. Now when I say it like that, how do you find it is? It's real? It's supposed to, that is real. That is real. What they're telling you outside there, I don't know. What your impression is different from what it's real in my mind. It was real because I get to drive and see it. I get to see it for myself. If that wasn't enough, now, that is some people, I think that is not even the majority of people, but yet they close the road, the popular roads for them. I wonder if they would close the popular roads For if we had a walk, if church, we were going to walk, would they have closed the roads? Would they have put concrete barriers? The devil trying to cut them off, you know. But he wouldn't cut them off. After say, so that we can't get fooled by what carnival really is. What carnival really is. And now I see why my father did not like carnival. More and more and more when I see the examples and go through the word of God, I realize that I have to set myself apart from it. But anyways, I was, as I said, dumbfounded when I was driving back home by the state at which people left the conditions of the road in. You would, I don't know, have you ever this is the first time I ever drive around Carnival Monday and Tuesday. If you see the state of the public road, that is not your private place. You know they say don't litter? Anybody? Anything have a law against littering? Somebody talk to me. But how come on Monday and Tuesday it's okay to litter on the streets? How come? Oh gosh, double standards. Anybody? Double standards. And I mean literally there was glass on the streets. Broken glass. Now if you know anything about broken glass, when a glass falls here, it don't stay here. It all over it spread. Splinters were all over the streets. Now cars have to drive, of course. I'm not being selfish, I'm not saying this because I had to drive over the glass. But I say, if you see the condition, I have never seen condition like I saw that on that Monday. So we are also encouraging people to litter at this time of the year. You know, there's a show, I don't know if you know about it, there's a horror show called The Purge. Anybody know about it, young people?
Yeah.
All you know about it?
Yeah.
It's as if carnival was the purge for some people. If you don't know about the horror story, the horror show, on that specific day, you're allowed to kill people, you can torture them, you can litter, you can break the law, you can do whatever you want on that day. Well, look like we have 2 days. Yeah. You can get away with anything on that 2 days. That ever could be right in my eyes? That ever could be right in God's eyes? So anyways, that's something aggressive, but it's not all. It's what I see and I can't believe it. I'm so shocked by this thing. And you know what they had to do? The city crews knew that the condition would have been left that way. Imagine they didn't know that the law is broken and now they have to come out. I never see so much city crew clean up. In my life, I never see for no crusade, I never see for anything. But me fighting against crusade, I just say. And somehow we are allowed to break the noise pollution levels during that time. How much rules we break. And then we go back, we go to bed. Some of us, not everybody. I'm talking about some outside there, right? Maybe I'm talking about that, just say. And we go to bed cool and calm, like everything cool and calm. Nothing went wrong, we never realized we do something wrong. Because the conscience was already thrown away this morning. I'm going on, but I have to say. So on Wednesday, I went back to the electronics store. Not there this time, it was open, Sister Shelley. Where the owner was explaining to me, I so happened to meet the owner, she's a nice lady. Actually, the family is very nice. If you ever met them, boy, I would hope nobody ever do them anything. They are very nice people, very down-to-earth people, honest people as well, from what I could tell. And the owner was explaining that the reason they close for carnival is because of the danger. That's a good thing? Anybody? Anybody that any danger to you is a good thing? It is not a good thing. So I don't know really where some people's minds are, you know. They choose to see carnival as only a good thing when clearly it is a season of a lack of restraint for many. A season of rebelliousness. A season of committing wrong things. Breaking the law. And if I was so bold to say, committing sin. I am trying not to judge them, but I am saying based on the word of God what I see. Some of these things are of a sinful nature. Not some, many. So these are the things that spoil this season for us, for everybody, not just for anything. Yes. I also heard there was also a few stabbings as well. You see where I come in with the Persian all, yeah? Because people drunk and thing. Now let me tell you something, you gotta be real careful. I would never take the risk of being in a crowd if I knew that the odds of getting stabbed was greater than the odds of being out on a normal day. Hear what I say there? You know that the odds is more, a higher chance of you getting stabbed. Why are you going outside there? You understand what I'm saying? And you're jumping on and thinking people and thinking you don't realize people could have a knife and whatever, and they just get vexed with you or whatever and they stab you. Because they're drunk, they ain't thinking, you know, they don't have their full mind with them.
What about the guns?
What about the guns? Well, that is a conspiracy altogether. I'm afraid to talk about that here. Because if I talk about that here, I don't know if I will survive next week. I'm telling you, my theory, this is fact. But that theory about guns, I can't even say that. But also, that wasn't all that. Wednesday was Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to every one of you all. Hope all you had a good time. Hope all you drink non-alcoholic wine. But also this week, coming back to my points, that was my little high. Let me go back a little bit here. But also this week, we saw even more bad news. But she said the guns, right? So she didn't know. Grandma didn't know. In the US, we saw a 19-year-old was killed. A 19-year-old killed 17 students in a mass shooting. 17, right?
Yeah.
All right, I hear somebody. Yeah, I hear 7, so I was wondering if I get any news correct from CNN. You know, sometimes they can't trust one of them. Can't remember which one it is. And we like, of course, we like to look at the US as being the most perfect place. But even the US struggles with some issues as well. Not so? Yes, they do. And my question is it because of the lack of rules and laws that this has happened? Because can we continue to allow people to do what they want to do? You call that freedom. Anybody know what freedom is? You must know what freedom is. We fight for freedom. The Africans fought for freedom. The Indians fought for freedom, even in indentureship and so forth. But with freedom, absolute freedom, there is the danger of going over the bounds. You could go over the bounds if you're absolutely free. I'll give you an example. If you didn't believe in God, would you be here? But we are subjected to God, right? So we are not really absolutely free. You might think that you're absolutely free. But God is in control of certain things in your life. And sometimes you have to give up a little bit of freedom to get back a whole lot of blessing this morning. This is what I saw. But I was talking about, as I said, the US. So this is really personal. Can we really allow freedom to the point that it endangers the lives of people? Example, the stabbings that we see in Trinidad, and in the example of that boy who shot 17 children. Imagine you carry your child, you send your child to school. The last place I would think was destruction in the school. I would never think, I could imagine what those parents feel now. And I am not saying go against the law of the right to bear arms. You know that they have the right to bear arms. I am saying put rules in. Rules are there for a reason. You have to psychoanalyze some of these people before you give them big guns. Anybody agree with me?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
You don't just allow them to get a big gun. You have to let them go through it. Now that won't stop everything, but it might be able to filter out some who don't need guns. Some who need help, maybe they could detect it and they could give them the help that they need there, hopefully. Hopefully. So it seems we are allowing it, and the powers that be are not taking the steps to curb and stop this. Because what is more important is a vote. Not necessarily the people, the safety of the people. I'm talking about in general. I'm not talking about any particular. I'm saying even down here, we have to have laws too. Laws real archaic down here. And what we're not doing is making proper laws to get things in order this morning. But here's the thing. We are Christians. We have to realize and separate ourselves from this sort of behavior, this sort of logic. Not just for this season, but the building blocks of our actions. We have to draw the line and say, here's what, we are going to be different. I'm going to tell you something. I hardly ever out after 8 so not even 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Hardly ever. Once in a blue moon, maybe for Valentine's Day, I might carry my wife out and we would stay a little bit late somewhere to eat or something like that. But never in a spot that empty, never in a spot that have drunk people. Hear what I'm saying? A little bit of logic does go a long way. I reduce the chances of danger, and I encourage you to use that and stay away from places that might not be so good for you as well. Amen? Amen? Yes, I agree with that. So I want to encourage you as we draw in the line. We cannot do like those in the world do. Not all the time, we can't do that. I want to encourage you to do like Jesus did. But not just Jesus. Do like all the examples we have been going through in the Bible. We look at Jesus. Jesus is the most important character in the Bible. You will say, and God, the Father. But there are other examples in the Bible too that show us what to do. These examples and the lessons learned are for us to protect ourselves and our family. So I didn't just come here to criticize. I come here to give some solution to the problem and to encourage you to go on the right track this morning. Amen this morning? Amen. By following them, that's people in the Bible. Certain people in our order don't follow the Israelites all the time. Right? By following them, we are reducing the odds of being in the wrong place at the wrong time and doing the wrong things that the world wants us to do this morning. You say, oh, Pastor, you're really condemning. I just basing what I say as wrong based on what the Word of God tells me is right, and so forth. So we must follow the Word and also remember that Jesus gave us grace and mercy to live a fulfilling life. But you can't live a fulfilling life if you're in the ground. You understand? That is where the wisdom have to come into. Be careful. Not because your significant other say, here what, 10 o'clock in the night, let me go down Coffee Street and buy some ice cream. You will pick up yourself and go Coffee Street 10 o'clock in the night to go and get some ice cream. You understand what I'm saying here this morning? A little bit of wisdom. A lot just do it. But in all that nice thing, in all that thinking about the ice cream, you can go like 6 o'clock too, you know. You understand? Go a reasonable hour when it's lighted and so forth, and people around and so forth, at least somebody can see something is happening. And anyway, so with that being said, if you could kindly turn to your neighbor this morning, that was no preamble, Well, let me start preaching here too, alright. You repeat after me, I want to hear it,